Top of the morning to you. It's Francis here. Francis here, joined by Finnegan.
Don't be there be a dragon.
We're recording on St. Paddy's Day, aren't we?
Hey, let's address the serpent in the room.
The serpent in the room?
Yeah.
Madness? March Madness?
March Madness. No, serpent, because St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, right. Yeah,
dragon.
casted the snakes out of Ireland.
Well, we are casting the bagpipes from the dragon.
Oh, right. Yeah. Speaking on Irish accents and St. Patrick's Day and Dolittle, I am a bit surprised, looking back at it, that they didn't cast someone in the movie with an Irish or a Scottish accent. I'm kind of glad that they didn't, because I feel like there's a...
What do you mean by that, sir?
I feel like
What
there's
are you on about?
the like Hollywood movies in particular, American movies, looking at the Scottish accent, they use it as like a punchline for not being understood.
To be fair, that's just like accents. I feel like in most American movies, accents are just punchlines. But I mean, I don't think that's like, I don't even think it's trying to be offensive. It's just like, they don't sound like us. Like, that's the whole joke. And
I mean, I guess it's such a boring joke and such a tired joke that I'm surprised it's not in the movie.
that's
Like, credit to Dolittle, they didn't do it.
only fresh ideas in this one.
Yeah.
You're not wearing green.
There's some green.
Yeah, no.
There's some green on my pants.
And the top of your head is green.
Yeah, I got this green as well. You got green as well.
I am wearing green today.
No pinches. No pinches.
No pinches. No pinches. Snitches get pinches.
Snitches. Snitches get pinches.
As Leona says. That's
As
a quote.
Leona puts it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, let's address the dragon. It's madness still. It
is.
The Ouroboros.
I have something that I think that we should address, that we need to talk about. Matt King is Clyde, is the orangutan.
The credits.
What am I trying to say?
I don't
The
know.
identity of the person who plays the orangutan has never actually been hidden. I don't know.
It sort of is, because it's the character isn't you.
You don't know the character's name.
We're assuming that it's Clyde.
Yeah.
Because he looks like a Clyde.
He does look like a Clyde.
But there's no way of knowing.
I mean, there's no one else in the movie that Clyde could be.
It could be the rabbit. We know that's Will Arnett, but
Yes.
but if you were looking through
that's true. The cast notes. Anyway, it's funny that we didn't realize that we knew who the orangutan was all this time, because not only is it right there in the credits, it's also pretty prominent on IMDb that Clyde is played by Matt King.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm just surprised that no one is talking about it. Like no one on the planet Earth cares that Matt King plays this orangutan in this movie. People should be talking about this, right?
Well, we just really like the orangutan in this movie. It's the best part of the movie.
Doesn't everybody who watches this movie like the orangutan?
Everyone likes the orangutan.
Anyway, so that's like one of the greatest questions that we mentioned.
Matt King is from Peep Show, for those of you who don't know. I forget his name.
In Peep Show?
Yeah, his character name. It's like Super something. Anyway, that's what he's from. He's a comedian. He's also amazing in Dolittle. He kind of brings class to the whole picture.
Super Hans is the character's name from Peep Show. I guess I'm surprised no one's talked about this man.
What can we relate to St. Patrick's Day in Dolittle? Because there's no one who's Irish.
There is no one who's Irish.
There's no serpents either. There are no snakes. There could have been a snake.
Could have been a snake. But
Right.
no, there couldn't have been a snake. Because...
This isn't Ireland. They're not being
You're
driven
right.
out.
Yeah, okay, never mind.
Frank, give me your snake. Where would you put a snake in this movie?
Where do you put a snake? Well, I guess got to figure out what their task is. So I think that the snake character you would have whenever Dolittle in his house when they're going to see the Queen, he like gathers up a bunch of different things. Like he gets Mimi into his hair.
Yeah.
He picks up Sticks, the stick bug. I think he would also go to a terrarium and he would have a snake slither up his sleeve.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
into
he
his
put
shirt?
a snake in his pants.
Or into his boots. Yeah, that would work
into
too.
his boots, yeah.
He somehow collects this snake as part of that sequence. And then in the scene where he's falling in Monteverde,
Yeah.
down the side, he takes out the snake and he uses it like a whip to catch hold, and the snake's like, ah.
I'm about to die. Sorry.
I don't. It would say something like, "Oh, you've gained weight."
That's a Plimpton.
I know it is a Plimpton line.
Don't worry, I'll save us. The snakes, yeah.
Sort of like I'm picturing sort of like a Spider-Man move where it he shoots it out of his sleeve and
then instantly
uses it to
the
hold
snake
on.
rips in half.
And he falls
Dies.
to his death.
Yeah. I think so. When they take off the cover off of Jeff, off the cover off of Jeff.
They uncover Jeff on the boat, the prisoner.
He's just a writhing mass of snakes.
That would be good. That would be better, actually. It'd be funny.
Jeff.
It'd be funny, actually. The visual gag of having a snake in what are those things called? The stockade.
Yeah, stockade.
It'd be funny. The visual gag of having a snake there because you could just slither out.
Yeah. Crikey! Oh, it should be a crocodile, should it?
In the stockade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that'd make sense for him to say crikey. I wrote down here, Gorilla's Guide to Confidence. That's what Dolittle, that's DJ Dolittle's latest work of art.
Yes. Latest literary genius. This is, at the start of the movie, we see Dolittle asleep. He's spilling ink on papers. It's after Stubbins gets caught in the trap, and you can just make out Gorilla's Guide to Confidence, and then it says stuff like, let go of fear of failure, and it's, I'm assuming, some sort of booklet that he's writing for gorillas, in particular Chee-chee, to gain their courage. This
means that it is in-universe confirmed. Chee-chee can read, which makes me think, maybe the reason why Chee-chee's afraid is he used to be a human and he was turned into a gorilla. Is Planet of the Apes universal?
Planet of the Apes.
Do you remember Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes?
No, I don't.
Okay, it's irrelevant. It's sort of irrelevant.
Are they 20th Century Fox?
It could be 20th Century Fox. That sounds more right. But an ape gets sent to the past or whatever, and it shows up, and then the humans are in charge. And anyway, Chee-chee is from the future, where apes have replaced people.
I like that.
And that's why he's afraid all the time. That's all I got.
20th Century Fox distributed at least the 1968 one, so I'm assuming that they have most of them.
Well, there could always be a crossover. You never know. But yeah, so Chee-chee can read, or else why else would he write this?
Yes.
Why is he writing notes for himself to then read to Chee-chee?
I'm pretty sure all of these animals can read.
Yeah. Cinderella.
Dolittle, in that same sequence as Dolittle is dressed by his animals, it comes across, it's very Cinderella flair.
Wait, no, that's Snow White. That's Snow White, isn't it?
No, it's Cinderella.
Is it?
The mice, it is more Snow White.
It's more Snow White.
No, but Cinderella is the same thing. Whenever she puts on her gown, the mice and the birds make the gown for her.
Okay. I don't remember it.
They dress her up. I don't remember if Snow White has a scene where they dress her. They definitely fly around her and hang out. Do they put a coat on? I don't know. But they get Cinderella ready for the ball.
Yeah.
The mice sew the dress and the birds help put it on, and I'm pretty sure that's a Cinderella.
One of the things that came out of this...
Because it's when the Cinderella song is going. The mice
it is.
Cinderella, Cinderella.
It's a good Dolittle song.
The mice should have been singing. And anyway...
one thing that we were talking about this is Dolittle needs to be crustier. He needs to be like a drunk or something, because he's just replaced humans with animals who are essentially humans. Like, he's very much humanized them. He's playing chess with a gorilla. So
he's not really isolated himself. They're setting up that Dolittle has isolated himself away from people, but not really, because he has all of these intelligent interactions.
But if he was like super drunk,
right? If he was more bummy, if he was more like slobbish, and if he was even pushing away the animals, I think that theme would have landed better for them.
And I think this movie would be better if you couldn't understand any of his lines and they weren't ADR'd. Instead, he just was pretending to be sloshed the whole time. I say, what is your plan?
Want to know.
There's a tree.
Takes one to know one.
How's Lady Rose help him down? How's Lady Rose help Stubbins down?
How does Lady Rose get Stubbins out of the Kalahari trap?
It's an ingenious design,
Kalahari
Doc.
Snare.
You've just caught yourself a boy.
And just to be clear, I've looked up Kalahari snails. I've looked up Kalahari snares, and it's. I'm assuming it's based on the people who trap things in the Kalahari Desert in Africa, and there isn't anything that I could see that is specifically known as a Kalahari snare. There were snares for like trapping birds and things, but I don't think that they're exclusive to the Kalahari Desert.
See, it's a really good snare. It could catch anything, right? I think what he's saying is a calamari snare.
Yeah.
Because if it's a net that can catch an octopus,
then it would be really
ingenious
a good net.
design.
Yeah. The other thing is that these snares, they require things to come for the food and then get trapped. So it seems weird that it's set for just someone to walk over it and go off. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, yeah, that's the ingenious design part.
Yeah.
But so Stubbins is caught and he's like 10 feet in the air, and I don't really understand how Lady Rose helps him down. Like with like a pulley system, he's going to be lighter, but she's still like 10 years old.
Well, you have to remember that she's trained as a handmaiden, so she's... No, you're right, though. It seems... I would have liked to see the scene where she just like whips out a blade and slices the rope and he falls.
Yeah.
Crashes to the ground.
I'm about to die.
You mentioned as we were watching it during that sequence that the layout of the house and the gardens and things don't really make sense for how they approach it.
Yeah, so you can see the snare or the net like through the window in that scene where they're talking about it.
And when they're in Dolittle's house.
And then when they are outside and it's Lady Rose and Stubbins up in the trap, you can see the house, and you can see that there's clearly a place where you could walk through the hedge and be in the back of the house.
And there's a door right there.
And there's no like gate anywhere. Like you'd have to look for a gate.
So it's weird that they find a gate to knock on to get Chee-chee to come answer.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the point of this is no one's supposed to look at any of this.
Maybe Lady Rose is very proper and she uses the front door.
It's just... This is like one of those moments where I realize how nitpicky we're being because of how often we see, like, realistically, you never would notice this and it wouldn't affect it.
The problem is that you can notice it. They should have thought more. They should have thought about their layout more. Like, why, you know how you fix it? You fix it by just not having the net visible out the window.
Yeah.
That would solve it. Because I'll be honest, I didn't realize that you could see the net through the window until you pointed it out today, and I was like, oh, wow.
So this is another day where I think we saw an alternate cut.
Yep.
Because there's another thing that you point out to me is the mice in the corner when they're like...
they're jumping up and down.
Dolittle finally resolves to go to save the queen, and they're all cheering. And there are these tiny little mice in the corner that look hysterically jumping up and down. They look so bad.
They do not belong at all. They do not belong there.
They should have done the Cats approach, where they're just little kids.
They basically did do the Cats approach, where they just have weird floaty CGI hanging out, and it looks strange.
I have written, I'm on my whale.
Oh, nice. When's
That's Humphrey. Could you give us a line?
I'm on my way. Humphrey here. Let's hook it up. Where are we headed? South. I always liked going south. Somehow it always felt like going downhill. That's all I got to say.
We make a lot of Lord of the Rings jokes in this.
I think that there's just a lot of Lord of the Rings references in this movie. It wants to be grandiose and epic and... What other grandiose epic adventure is there?
Because, like, if you
I mean, the problem is, like, the other thing is that it's obvious. They have a ring that they're taking to the island of the dragon.
Yeah.
And, you know, it sort of follows, it's this adventure of a misfit character who wears pants that come above the ankles and is a bit timid and isn't sure if he belongs on this adventure.
Speaking of Stubbins, has this amazing trick where he morphs from a 10-year-old to like a 16-year-old.
It's very cool.
And it's so funny because in a Monteverdi scene,
that's for reshoots.
You could see it in like, it happens like he's old, young.
I think we're getting better at noticing it. Because the first 10 watches, I didn't really notice it. But now that I'm looking for it, I'm like, oh yeah, there it is.
And
he's young again.
It makes sense like why sometimes he looks like a hobbit, because he's wearing the same clothes he wore 2 years ago before reshoots.
He's a very odd boy.
Sometimes he's 10. He likes spiders. He picks up spiders and carries them outside, Frank. No one likes spiders. Not even spiders like spiders.
I feel like wouldn't they like spiders though? Wouldn't that be something of the time where they would like spiders because they're eating the other bugs, keeping them out of their house?
I thought you were talking about spiders. I'm like, yeah.
Spiders probably like spiders too. Maybe they don't actually, because they kill each other after breeding and stuff. Some of them.
Yeah. Well, that's just like they don't like men.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they would like spiders. I feel like most people still don't like bugs or ever like bugs.
Yeah, but I mean, we can control bugs coming in and out better now. But back in Victorian times, wouldn't they have been like, hey, actually, these spiders are helping us keep the bug population down in our house?
No, that's like your youngest, dumbest son. His job is to eat all the bugs. You gotta get yourself a bug boy.
Right. Bug boy. Of course.
That's why they're worried about Stubbins. Their bug boy is carrying the spiders outside.
He's supposed to be eating them.
I don't understand, Ben. We haven't fed him for weeks. He's still not eating the bugs. When the ants are helping unlock the door, there's like a scene where Stubbins is fighting off the urge
to eat them,
to gobble them up.
He has to keep stopping himself from eating James the Dragonfly. as they're creeping through, he keeps wanting to eat him, and he has to keep holding his hand back.
Another line I hate is when Dolittle says, Lady Rose, or Dolittle says, we're closed for business. And then Lady Rose says, what business? After Yoshi's carrying in a tree of some sort.
What business?
And then he says, treating humans. And I've never got that line. I don't get it.
Well, you see, they used to treat humans.
But that's the business that they're closed for that business. So they're currently treating humans. He's the only human there.
What?
I don't get the line. Explain it to me.
Okay, so Dolittle says we're closed for business. And then Lady Rose says, what business?
No, because Yoshi is like making a mockery of the whole scene because he's trying to bring in a tree, but
you'll never believe what we caught in the net.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she goes, what business? And then he goes,
treating humans. Right. They don't treat humans, is what he's saying.
What?
They don't receive humans for doctor visits. They don't treat humans.
But I thought when he says they're closed for business, that he is referring that they're closed because of business.
No, we're closed for business, as in we're not accepting new patients.
Gotcha.
We're closed for business. What business?
Treating
humans. We don't want to go visit the queen.
It's still a weird line. I don't get it.
Well, he's just saying that they're no longer accepting patients.
I do like when he dabs after saying it, though.
Treating humans, dab. The thing is that it seems like, did they ever really treat humans? Aren't they always? Here, let's talk about the sign on the door.
Oh yeah. So at the end of in the beginning of the movie, there's a sign on the door.
Do you know what it says at the beginning of the movie?
I've something about Lily Doolittle, and it's like a hop, skip, and a jumper.
Walk-ins accepted.
Hoppins, yeah, walk-ins, hoppins, and fly-ins.
Yeah.
Accepted.
All species. We treat all species.
Except amphibians and reptiles.
That's not on the sign.
No, it is. And then in parentheses, it says birds aren't reptiles, nerd.
Anyway, at the end of the movie, it says, Dr. Dolittle, an apprentice, all species welcome, will also consider far-flung voyages and magical adventures. Inquire within, which it should be enquire within because it's in England, but it's inquire within. Anyway, great goof. There was a behind-the-scenes footage that also had a picture of this gate. And on the gate was this: Dr. Dolittle and apprentice. Hello, please enter if you are struggling with having 1 foot or a case of the chills, confidence in crowds, your veganism, or dipsomnia, a drinking problem, in parentheses. So my theory is that that was the original sign for the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And they changed that into the all species welcome sign.
The all species welcome sign is also clearly
pasted
digital.
on.
Yeah, it's not a real sign. It doesn't look like a real sign to me.
Yeah.
It's too like...
There's the reflectiveness of it is...
It's weird shiny. It ain't right. That boy ain't right.
Yeah. Anyway, so that sign itself, that switch is a bit darker.
Yeah.
It does suggest that perhaps Dolittle was originally intended to have
a drinking problem. Yeah. It would make sense if he was a drunk, or if... It would make sense if they made him addicted to something like bananas, like for kids. That'd be funny to me.
I don't know.
Him just scarfing down 8 bananas in a single scene. Just constantly eating fruit.
You don't really want to encourage kids to mimic that, though. Like, that's sort of funny. I would want to scarf down 8 bananas after seeing it.
That would be so funny. Just every single scene of Dolittle, he has like a banana in his hand until he had one. He quits.
But also, bananas aren't like a bad thing to be eating, you know?
And then he starts drinking after he quits bananas.
I've got a new segment. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
It's called Are You Sure? And
no.
The premise is you get to be sitting in the meeting room whenever decisions for this movie are made.
Are you sure?
And you get to ask them, are you sure, as they make a decision? What is such decision that you would... Where would you ask them that?
Hey, so... Okay, listen up. We need a big finale, right? We're at the islands. Okay, we're at the islands. We got the dragon. She's defeated, but she just sort of gives up, and I say, hey, you're depressed. And she's like, oh, you're right. Well, we can't just end it there. She can't just let me in to, like, get the fruit. So what if she's constipated, right?
What if she has an impacted colon?
She just really can't poo. And then...
She has bagpipes up her butt.
And then I reach my arm in there. Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Oh, no, a leak. Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
That was objectively the correct point to use. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
And then we put Stubbins in there. I just want to talk about RPMs again.
I guess we should get that out of the way. The Oscars, there were no RPMs. I watched them. There were no RPMs.
I knew there weren't going to be any rips per minute.
There was one reference to someone pooping backstage, but that was the only thing.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a TR.
That's adjacent.
Yeah.
It's adjacent, but not an RPM.
An AR. What's a good moment for you? Okay, let me pitch something to you again.
Yeah.
I'll let you use it as you do. Okay, so we have to break into this door. We have to use a lock. So I talked to the Italian ants. And I have a dragonfly speak for me, but then the ants just address me and ignore the dragonfly anyway. And then I pretend to give them sugar, but really I pocket it for myself. Is this a good pitch?
I don't see any problems with that.
Okay. The dragonfly is just blatantly sexualized for some reason. He just really wants a girlfriend.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
we really need to.
He's just
make a hypersexualized dragonfly.
Yeah, and he's jealous of a scorpion and his massive stinger.
Right.
Do we ever talk about that?
The massive stinger?
Yeah.
I think we mentioned it in passing before.
It's very weird. It is very weird line. In your kids' movie, there's one character who's kind of he just hits on everyone, and that's okay.
And he has the line, "What's a scorpion got that I don't got besides a massive stinger?" Yeah.
And then the male ant says, like, get over it. You've only dated for 2 weeks. And that's like a significant part of their life.
The ants' lives, yeah.
Yeah, well, male ants live a couple days, apparently. They just live to reproduce. So those ants are all dead.
I guess that's why they're a really good crime organization. Because no one remembers. They can't, they're only around for a little bit.
Because they're replaced every couple days.
They're all swapped out.
Yeah, they all should be females. All those ants should be female ants.
They should be. Because the female ants actually, it's a matriarchal society for one thing. So it would be a good little flip on if you're going to try to make a funny joke, maybe subverting it a little bit and having it all be women. That would be interesting. No, actually it wouldn't be interesting, but it would be more funny and more true to the culture of ants.
Yeah. I'm still mad that all scorpions are bad boys. There's some good boys out there.
You haven't submitted any, so. You talked about one in a children's book, but I've seen no official submissions on good scorpions.
I'm gonna start picking up scorpions and see how many sting me. And if there's one that doesn't, that's a good boy, right? I have a biology degree. I'm pretty sure this is how it works.
Yeah.
I also have a new segment.
Okay, I'm ready.
I was thinking we could do ad reads for something for Dolittle related.
A Dolittle related ad? Okay.
Yeah.
What is the product in Dolittle that you're thinking of?
A leak.
Okay.
Give me your best leak ad read. Forceps. Sorry, forceps.
Forceps. Okay. Forceps.
Here at O'Connell Medical Equipment, we've got the finest forceps you'll ever need. They're fit for pulling out all sorts of things from all sorts of places.
We grow my saves.
Mrs. O'Connell's in the back garden right now.
The finest equipment in the lawns.
The finest medical equipment in the paddock.
Yeah, accents being just jokes are. That's not. We don't support that.
No. It's St. Patrick's Day. Okay.
Okay. I want you to sell me a fly swatter.
A fly swatter?
I know you're going Irish again. I can see it.
You know what?
You're going Irish again. Your eyes have become shamrocks. Your pupils. They're currently 4-leaf clovers.
I don't know how to sell a fly swatter.
Oh, that's good.
I know what you want. You want a fly swatter to deal with those pesky pesks.
And if you miss, well, that's the chosen one.
Our fly swatters are made with the tiniest holes known to man, so no flies will be flying through it. Our fly swatters are made without holes, so no flies escape.
Yeah, you almost had it.
Yeah.
Okay, one last one. You're at a dealership, right? Except it's a boat dealership. And you're looking around, right? And they're trying to sell you a boat, but it doesn't have an engine. Instead, they say it's whale powered.
Yeah, you're looking for a boat? I see you're in the need of a boat. And
This is an awful
boy, we got the boats for you. No more relying on the weather. No more relying on the sea. The thing you need to rely on is
packed in here. All you have to do is blow on this tuba. Anybody with lips can summon a whale. It relies on whale power.
My name is Rip, and welcome to my whale lodge.
Whale lodge?
Yeah, because they're selling whales.
They're selling whales?
Yeah, well, someone has to sell the whales to sell the boat, right?
Oh, okay.
That's a nonsense sentence. That made no sense. Okay, those were ads.
I think that was our worst segment
ever. Let's talk about Chee-chee.
Chee-chee?
He has good fighting instincts.
Chee-chee the gorilla.
Yeah, the moment Dolittle drops his guard, he gets punched in the face.
Yeah, that's good. He also is quick to respond to his coaches on the side.
Yeah.
When they tell him to hit him in the lower region, it's like instant realization.
I don't like that. I don't like the because he has like some sexual desire to hit him in the lower area down there. Oh. And then he hits it. It's so weird to me.
I don't know. I think that you've just seen it too many times.
I don't like that noise. I don't like it. Makes me uncomfortable.
You've said that about a number of Chee-chee's noises. Whenever Dolittle and the Queen are doing their chittering together at the end, he makes like a kissy face, and he goes like, and you said that you didn't like that.
Yeah, because he's implying that Dolittle should kiss the Queen, which he would be executed, I'm assuming. I think what's happening is these characters are hypersexualized, and we're just now beginning to see
to be tuned into it. This is made by a bunch of freaks.
Between Yoshi and Plimpton, just James in general, those are obvious ones. Yeah. And then there's some subtext with Chee-chee.
Just being into strange things.
Yeah.
Sort of having some strange kinks.
Yeah. I also have written down polar bear swim speed.
Oh yeah, we should talk about that. When the whale starts pulling the boat, we know that whales can swim 17 miles per hour. We know that polar bears can swim is it 6 miles per hour?
Yeah, that seems right.
I want to say. So the instant that Humphrey starts pulling the ship, Yoshi would start being left in the dust.
Yeah.
But he manages to keep up to speed with the boat and then continue swimming alongside Humphrey.
Yeah. Well, see,
so
in the future, all the polar bears' habitat has
melted away, so they have to swim faster.
So the ones that didn't migrate and become grizzly bears,
right, they just swim faster.
They now live underwater, and they only swim. They never walk.
And that's why he's so cold.
No, because the plant's a lot hotter then. The water's boiling in the future.
Right. Yeah.
The whole planet's boiling, Frank. That's why he has to work on his suntan.
Right. Of course.
Also, the fly swatter. There's a great goof. The fly swatter scene just doesn't exist. It's completely post-production.
Yeah, after the fly swatter hits the fly, it disappears and you don't see it again. I mean, I guess technically there could be some place where Moodfly stashes it beside his desk or something, and we just don't see it happen.
There's I
don't know if it's like a great goof, but it's just a question perhaps of continuity.
Well, I noticed it because he hits the fly and then it pans and he's holding the paper with two hands in the way, and there's no fly swatter in the sight. We had an argument because first we didn't see that there wasn't a fly swatter. And I'm saying he's clearly holding the paper with two hands. It'd be unnatural for him.
And I think it would be possible. I'm of the opinion that it would be possible for him to be holding it with one hand and then be setting the fly swatter down somewhere and
but it's already down. He already set it down.
Well, I don't know.
And then it's just gone. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And then we realize that whole scene is CG.
Right, where the fly moment probably just didn't exist before. So.
And what we're trying to say is the fly scene is a great goof. It's really funny.
Oh, we love those great goofs. Rate your top 5 goofs from this movie? Go.
Like,
I mean, funny moments and not, not errors. Are you starting at 5 or 1?
Okay, let's start at 5.
Okay.
Greatest goof. I'm too beautiful to die.
All right, that's a good goof. That's I guess we should explain it. That's when Kevin is whispering into Doolittle's ear after he's dying.
Yep. Mandu.
Which is that is Plimpton with French subtitles saying, "Oh my God!"
Number 3 off the top of my head is nice plan, Dad.
That is Arnold Stubbins Jr. Telling his dad, Arnold Stubbins, that his plan is really good.
Number 2, we're getting into good territory, is when the dog, he has top 2, spoiler alert, is when well played, boys, or late entrance, well played, boys.
Magnificent. Wait.
No, that's Magnificent Chin.
The Magnificent Chin, sir. Hold on.
My list is all wrong.
It doesn't matter. What is it that the dog says? Well played.
Late entrance, well played, boys.
It's something like that.
I don't think that's exactly boys. Right. And then my favorite one is when they go, the dog is licking the queen.
The dog is licking the queen.
But none of those scenes are supposed to be funny except the well played, boys. So
well played, boys. I don't think that's supposed to be funny either.
Let me give you 5 more.
I don't think any of those 5 were supposed to be funny.
It's a magnificent chin, sir.
That is a good one.
Dave escape.
This is just going to be all 5 of his lines. All 5 of the lieutenant's lines to Mudfly.
Really? I thought they disappeared. I'm afraid not, sir.
It really should. I was thinking about it more. It should be him talking to Moodfly about the papers, because Moodfly makes a comment to the lieutenant before walking off to go get the papers. Yeah. And then he's talking to a different guy who wasn't even out there with him.
Also,
oh, well.
The lieutenant's so good. The other one is Clyde, his line.
Clyde, yeah. Clyde the orangutan.
Clyde the orangutan. And the last great goof is when Dolittle pulls out the bagpipe from the dragon.
That's the greatest goof of them all.
No, it's actually Dr. Dolittle did a little doo-doo.
Did Dr. Dolittle do a little doo-doo?
Oh, this sucks. This sucks.
This sucks.
I hate this movie.
Welcome to Viewlittle Week 11. This sucks. What non-Dolittle thing do you have to share? Anything?
Oh, the last thing I wrote about Dolittle is John and the Queen boink.
We got through that.
I know. I just wanted to say it.
You wanted to say boink.
I did.
You wanted to say it
because it's not lewd. Yes. I've been watching Doom Patrol again. The show. It's a DC original. It used to be on DC streaming. It's now on HBO Max. If you don't have HBO Max, it's probably my favorite streaming service. And it has a lot of like Criterion stuff on it. It has a lot of like big movies, and HBO is pretty good shows.
They have a pretty good what's the thing? Good
catalog.
Catalog. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's probably the most money for your, or the most
bang
value
for your buck.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, it's like a DC show.
The most blink for you.
I mean, I don't know if this is true, but I'm pretty sure HBO Max has the most rips per minute of any programming.
That's an interesting shout.
That's completely false. It's like Spike TV.
Yeah. Is it?
It's cable. It's definitely cable.
It's something cable, yeah.
But yeah, it's a good show. You guys should check it out. What have you been doing? What are you up to?
I watched the Oscars.
Oh,
do I have anything to report?
Was there a Will Smith joke?
There were constant Will Smith jokes. Most of our predictions came true.
Okay. my biggest question, did Will Smith get spanked?
He did not get spanked. That was one of the few predictions that we did not get correct. But most of the other ones, they all came true.
Did Jimmy Kimmel get spanked? You're thinking about it.
I am thinking about it. He did get danced off the stage, which was cool. That was probably the only Jimmy Kimmel moment that I thought was fun.
Anything else to report from the Oscars as our sideline reporter?
Yeah, there was something else I wanted to talk about related to the Oscars, and now I don't remember what it was.
Our O correspondent.
I guess I should report that the costume designer from Dolittle, Jenny Beavan, she did not win her Oscar for the costume design of something in Paris. Mrs. Something Goes to Paris.
Oh, Emily in Paris.
No, not Emily in Paris. Jenny Beavan did not win costume design for Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. So that's a bummer for Dolittle. Dolittle got no Oscars this year.
Well,
Dolittle's legacy got no Oscars this year.
No Oscar wins is Not To. We're big fans here.
Yep, we got that prediction right.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Swept. That's I didn't watch them. I just sort of kept up with it because I was a little interested.
It was fine. It was an award show. Really long and full of fluff.
Yep. What else have you been doing besides the Oscars?
I've been watching Michelle Yeoh movies still. Yep. The most recent one is called, I think it's Magnificent Warriors. Hold on, let me double check.
Is it all just like wuxia?
No. It's like Michelle Yeoh is Indiana Jones.
That's cool.
Yeah, and fighting against the Japanese occupation in China.
I've seen a lot of Chinese movies about that.
It is called Magnificent Warriors. It's also known as Dynamite Fighters.
That's a cooler name.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's fun. There's some moments that are so incredibly boring. Like there's a plane fight sequence that just takes forever, and they're just these two planes that obviously aren't fighting each other.
That's really funny.
But I mean, it's fun. If you like watching Michelle Yeoh kick people, it's a good movie. And she also does Indiana Jones whip stuff, so kind of tight. Anything else?
Well, give me your deepest Dolittle cut right before we get to that and close out the show. Frank, did you like this movie?
No, I did not like it. Do not enjoy it. Do not recommend it. How about you?
I don't know. I was kind of excited to watch it today, and then we watched it, and now I feel worse.
Yeah.
And I kind of want people. People keep telling me, it's like, now I feel like I don't even need to watch the movie. I just listen to a podcast. I'm like, well, that's not really fair. This is supplemental material. It's not meant to replace the movie, guys. Jesus.
Well, we basically replace it.
Yeah, we're gonna have more fart jokes the longer this goes on after our reshoots.
Yes. I was gonna say something. Hold on, I have to catch it. Think about it.
Okay. While you're thinking about that, where can you find us?
You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. The last week's episode was posted a couple days late. Sorry about that, but it's up. You can also find us on YouTube, and you can shoot us an email to Dr. Viewlittle. It's dr.viewlittle@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah. Anything you have. Really.
Questions you have for us.
If you want to know.
Complaints.
Or the RPM of a recording session.
Right. If you want to know. If you have some details on RPMs, again, I ask that you let us know.
Oh my God.
Continue that. We'll be asking for those every week.
And do you know what you were going to say?
No.
Yeah, I executed that brainwave. I saw it. I just
killed it. You removed it.
Okay. Well, my name is Finn. Frank, take us out.
And my name's Francis. Joined here by Finnegan, and we'll be
That's not a Dolittle quote.
I'm trying to think of a character who doesn't get to say a whole lot and would have a good
I really just need a line we never mentioned.
Yeah.
So
we've said all of them. Though.
One of the bad ones.
You can understand me.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
That's from the post-credit scene where Moonfly is... Moonfly is talking to the bats because he's fallen down a deep hole and he's shattered his spine. And
you can understand me.
While you were born in the darkness, Moonfly adopted it.
Okay. Well, this is done. We're done.
Yeah, we're done.
Goodbye.
Gosh, there was something else.
Body
Who cares? We're out of here.